Hello and welcome to the first video on this channel in a rather long while. I'd explain myself, but I really don't want to. Today I shall be showcasing a custom modular building that I've built, similar to the American-style diner I posted a video about some time ago. This time, we have an antique/vintage store that I affectionately call Bricks and Pieces. I shall waste no more time on an introduction and shall get right into the details. As you can see on the ground floor, the facade of the building is styled after what may have been common in the early 1900s, with a bay window, mismatched brickwork and an archway, where in my mind the original entrance to the building was before the downstairs was converted into a shop, leaving the upstairs as cheap accommodation for students living in the area. Along the side of the building we can see an alleyway that features the entrance to the store and various other details, such as a few old advertising posters. These stairs lead around the building and up to the living space on the first floor, but more on that later. The back features minimal detailing, and the final side is left blank, as this is intended to be compatible with others in the modular line, and this would not be seen. Now let us move inside as we remove the first floor. The vintage store is absolutely jam-packed with items, as any good one should be. In the window display, a few items can be seen, notably a gold statue of a dinosaur and some crystal. In front of this, a ship and a bottle is being displayed, beside the tiniest representation of a Bolex camera that I could manage. Moving around to the next wall, we see an eclectic display, from fine aged wines to a boombox, and a couple of vintage laser pistols, for the more nostalgic of minifigures out there. Looking behind the counter, we can see a small display featuring a skull and some brooms. The proprietor of the establishment holds a magnifying glass in order to look busy, but really he's not doing anything. Moving around to the wall with the entrance, we see another rather random display, featuring a brass instrument, some more fine wine, and a deactivated Smith & Wesson pistol. In the centre display, we can see a hipster picking out some new records, a rather groovy old sword, and a display of old coats, probably more home to moths than minifigures by this point. And that concludes the ground floor. The first floor is intended to look as though it's been adapted for better living. The outside has previously been rendered, though poor maintenance is causing it to crumble and fall apart. A blank sign is intended to represent where Bricks and Pieces would be written, though I have yet to create a decal for this section. Both sides feature minimal details, though the back houses the entrance to the apartment. Speaking of, the interior apartment is small, featuring two rooms, a living/kitchen/dining room, and a bedroom, though I tried to cram in as much detail as possible. Moving from the entrance, there is a small kitchenette. The sausages are there to represent knives, as I've misplaced mine, and naturally sausages are the next best thing. The shelf beside the stove features milk, probably because it's made of plastic and doesn't need to be refrigerated. Over the small coffee table in the centre of the room, a pair of minifigures sit in front of a corkboard on which several miscellaneous items are pinned. In the bedroom, we have a half-scale bed, tiny bedside table and lamp, and a chest of drawers. The students that live here cannot expect luxury. Or a toilet. Replacing the roof, that's it. There's a hatch on the underside of the roof, though I've not yet adapted the attic into a living space due to minimal room and access, though the exterior roof complements the build quite well and really finishes it off as a display piece. I'd love to display this next to some modular buildings, however I've disassembled all mine for the project, so you'll just have to imagine. Thanks for watching.